Next up, the two Martins, comedian Steve Martin and Martin Short, met in the mid-'80s while filming The Three Amigos. Since then, they have grown closer personally and professionally. And in this latest installment of That Moment When, they share some of their magic that keeps us all laughing. This report is part of our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
We are very close friends. I mean, we will vacation together. We're going to go on a vacation next month with families.
Not ours.
Not ours, different family. Your family.
Hoping to meet.
Can you describe the moment when you first met?
I went to Steve's house to pick up a script for Three Amigos. I couldn't believe how great and beautiful this house was. A Picasso here and a Bacon there. And I said to Steve, how did you get this rich? Because I've seen your work. You said?
I said, could you get this script to Marty Short?
Welcome to That Moment When. I'm Steve Goldblum. We were excited to welcome the humble comedy legends Steve Martin and Martin Short, currently touring in their latest special, Now You See Them, Soon You Won't.
What an honor it is for me to be standing next to a man who is a novelist, a playwright, a musician, a composer, and a legendary comedian.
And let me say, what an honor it is for me to be standing next to the man who is standing next to that man.
We talked about their careers and their more than 30 years of friendship, which started on the set of Three Amigos. But you've talked about being in films, that when you're in the trenches of a movie, you get very close, and then there's this routine of just never seeing people again, and that you made a conscious decision not to let Steve go.
That's true. You are intensely involved in everyone's gossip, and if they're having an affair on set, you want to hear about it. And then you never see them again. But sometimes you say, I don't want to lose that person. And certainly that was the case with Steve and myself.
Yeah, we got along. We had instant comedy rapport. And actually, at that time when I first met Marty, he had just had a little girl. And I remember being jealous of the little girl because she was going to take time away from me.
Was there a lack of competition, would you say, between you two as comedians?
I don't think we have any competitive streak.
No. In general, I don't remember feeling upset that Steve was funnier at dinner or something, because it never happened.
When I watch you together, I notice that there's like a laugh every 15 seconds. How mindful and conscious are you of the stretch of time between when you talk and the audience laughs?
I'd say we're extremely conscious.
Extremely, yes.
You know, this has nothing to do with you. But when I was...
Well, can I get a coffee? Because I've heard, whatever you're going to say, trust me,
No.
I've heard it.
When I was writing The Jerk with Carl Reiner and, thank you, Michael Elias and Carl Gottlieb, our goal was to have a joke on every page. And I think that we kind of think that way, too.
I feel this is unanimous. You two are the greatest talk show guests in history. In fact, Martin, you were considered the greatest by a magazine. I mean, not that it's a competition, but I believe
No,
they
it's
did
not
say
a
that.
competition. But when that came out in The New Yorker, June 17th,
No, come down.
2017, of
that-
course,
read
no
that.
one was happier than me. And I had to deal with it.
As a work couple, you spend a lot of time together. Who has a louder inner critic?
I'd say Steve.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true.
If I prepare a lot for a talk show or something, and then for some reason I'm off, or the host is off, or we don't connect, then I feel there's nothing I could have done more, and then I feel fine.
I'm the opposite. No, if it doesn't go down well, I get kind of depressed and like what happened and try to analyze it.
Early on, I realized that for me to be tense, I'd see myself back on something, and I'd think, I'm not helping myself. So I willed anxiety away. My brother died when I was 12, my mother died when I was 17, my father at 20. When you go through those tough experiences, you're either empowered by it or victimized by it, and somehow I think I was empowered by it. If someone didn't laugh at me putting my hair up in a point, I didn't really care.
Well, I know there was a moment, Martin, with you when you were on SNL that you wanted to watch some tape back, and somebody said, give it a rest. Just move forward.
Yeah, that was Davey Wilson, the director. I was going to get a VHS tape.
That's what we used to do when we first were doing Saturday Night Live. Lauren and I and some members of the cast would go up to his office and watch the entire show again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
His point was, it's done, it's finished. You can't judge it like
Well,
you
he's not taking into consideration self-love.
That's true. But it would turn into possibly self-hatred.
This is a special question for Martin. Is there a moment when you recognized the genius of Steve? And of course, this question is special because it was submitted by Steve.
I met Steve in 1985, 10 years after.
By the way, I object to the phrase genius. I don't agree with that. I can't just sit here. But anyway, go ahead.
And by the way,
Yeah.
you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think it kind of takes a genius to be open to the people around him that can make him even better. The whole package is a genius.
I actually remember a moment, I can't identify the year, but we were gonna look at his special. It was so extreme. And I thought, wow, you are really unafraid. And I remember that. I remember thinking, this is really bizarre. I've got to respect this guy more.
Steve, you've said before that people think they want to see you revive old material with an arrow through your head, and you say they don't want that, they just think they want that. Why do you think that?
That era, we're talking about the late 70s when I was doing my stand-up comedy, it was a kind of a zeitgeist thing. And if you abstract it out of the times, to me, it's not as funny. And also, when you do an old bit, you sort of get automatic laughter or automatic applause, but it's not real laughter. I don't even remember how to do it. I don't even know where I was coming from. When I look at it, I go, was that funny? I don't know.
If you could add a third wheel to your act that you haven't worked with, who would it be?
For box office, I'd say Bieber.
I'd say Jerry Seinfeld is too good, so we don't want him.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Mulaney, maybe, as a younger voice.
He doesn't need us.
No, he doesn't need us either.